Welcome to our explainer. Today, we're not just talking about a job title. We are building the actual strategic blueprint for your career in environmental, health, and safety. We're going to lay out a clear, actionable path for you to become an EHS manager by 2026.
So let's start with the most important question. If your goal is to be an EHS manager in the next few years, do you really know what that takes? I mean, beyond just collecting another certificate to put in your email signature. It's really easy to get lost in that, but a real leadership role, well, that demands a focused strategy. We're going to go way beyond the surface level advice here and map out a clear, data-driven path that gets you from where you are right now to that management position. And let's be crystal clear about something. If you're targeting a role here in the US, this whole journey revolves around a deep, functional understanding of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA. Understanding its structure and how it's enforced, that is completely non-negotiable.
So here's our agenda for this strategy session. We're going to define what the modern EHS role actually looks like today, chart out your entry path, and decode which certifications are actually worth your time and money. Then we'll break down the salary potential and deliver a step-by-step 5-year plan. And to wrap it all up, we'll cover the critical mistakes that can completely stall your career, so you can just sidestep them entirely.
Okay, first things first. Let's get a really clear picture of our destination. The role of an EHS manager has fundamentally changed from what it was, even a decade ago. It's not just about clipboards and compliance checks anymore, it's about being a critical business partner. And honestly, grasping this shift is the single most important step toward becoming one. This slide really nails that key shift in perspective. The traditional safety officer was, let's be honest, often seen as reactive. They responded to incidents, they made sure a checklist was followed, but the 2026 EHS leader, they are proactive. They don't just enforce the rules, they build systems that prevent incidents from ever happening. They know how to align safety and environmental stewardship with the company's financial goals, and that's what makes them absolutely indispensable to senior leadership.
So the modern scope of this job is, well, it's broad and it's demanding. You have to be the go-to expert on regulatory standards from agencies like OSHA and the EPA. You also have to be a bit of a detective, performing root cause analysis not to place blame but to find systemic failures. You're a strategist implementing entire safety management systems. And more, you're the face of sustainability, managing environmental compliance and reporting those key performance indicators, the KPIs, directly to leadership in the language they understand, the language of business risk and return on investment.
Okay, so that's the destination. How do you actually get started on this path? What's the foundation you need to be building? The good news here is that there isn't just one road to the top. Your unique background can actually be a huge asset.
Yeah, there's definitely not just one way in. A very common route is a bachelor's degree in a relevant field, like occupational safety or engineering. But, and this is a big but, a strong background in construction or industry, backed by solid OSHA credentials, can be just as powerful. We also see a ton of successful transitions from the military, leveraging that incredible experience in risk management and procedural discipline. And of course, dedicated professionals can absolutely advance from technician or coordinator roles through proven on-the-job experience.
So here's the crucial point. You have to align your path with your target industry. If you're aiming for a corporate EHS role at a big Fortune 500 company, yeah, that bachelor's degree is probably a non-negotiable checkbox. But if your goal is to lead safety on major construction projects, years of hands-on field experience and the right certifications can absolutely outweigh a formal degree. It's all about strategically matching your qualifications to the role you actually want.
All right, now for a really critical topic, certifications. This is where so many aspiring managers get it wrong. They think more is always better. We're going to separate the credentials that are just a collection of letters from the ones that prove true competency and actually move the needle on your career and, maybe just as importantly, your salary.
You should really think of your certifications as a logical progression, like leveling up. You start with the fundamentals, the OSHA 10 and 30-hour courses. They give you the basic language of safety. Then, you move up to that professional tier with credentials like the Associate Safety Professional, or ASP, which is a key stepping stone that proves you're serious. And then finally, you aim for the leadership level with the gold standards, the Certified Safety Professional, or CSP, for management, and the Certified Industrial Hygienist, or CIH, for health and exposure science. This table breaks down those two premier credentials. Look, the CSP is all about management. It's about designing and leading safety programs, conducting risk assessments, and really understanding the business side of safety. The CIH, on the other hand, is highly technical. It's science-focused. It
It requires a strong STEM background to anticipate, recognize, evaluate, and control health hazards. So to put it simply, a CSP might design the company's overall safety management system, while a CIH might be the one in the field measuring chemical exposures to make sure that system is actually working.
So why does this strategic progression even matter? Well, the data is crystal clear. Achieving an advanced credential like the CSP provides a significant, measurable boost to your earning potential. And we're not talking about a small bump here. We're talking about an increase of $20,000 to $30,000 annually. That is the tangible return on investment for your hard work and your strategic focus.
But let's inject a dose of real-world advice here. While those certifications are critical gateways, please don't lose sight of the end goal. The objective isn't to collect a bunch of acronyms just to make your email signature longer. The real goal is to build genuine competence that you can apply in the field to protect people and add measurable value to your organization. You see, a certification opens the door. Your competence is what you do once you're in the room.
Okay, let's talk about compensation. I mean, a clear career path needs a clear understanding of the financial rewards, right? So what can you realistically expect to earn as you advance, and where are the most lucrative opportunities hiding?
Your choice of industry has a massive impact on your salary. It just does. While manufacturing and construction offers strong, six-figure potential, it's the high-risk, high-regulation sectors like oil and gas or renewable energy that really command the highest salaries. And that premium, it's not for nothing. It reflects the complexity and the absolutely critical nature of the EHS role when the consequences of failure are, well, catastrophic.
And of course, your salary is going to progress with your title and your responsibilities. You'll likely start out as a coordinator or a specialist, building your experience on the ground. Then, with 4 to 10 years of solid performance, you'll move into that EHS manager role, where the salary sits very comfortably in the six-figure range. And for those who climb all the way to the top, a corporate EHS director role, often overseeing multiple sites and setting company-wide policy, can command a salary well over $160,000 a year.
Okay, let's put this all together into an actionable, step-by-step plan. I want you to think of this as a safety management system, but for your own career. It's a structured, documented process to get you from specialist to manager in 5 years. This is your blueprint. So follow this timeline. Year 1, you become the undisputed expert on OSHA standards. Build that solid foundation of credibility. In Year 2, you shift from just knowing the rules to showing results. Document every dollar you save, every incident you prevent, to demonstrate your value. In Year 3, you go get that ASP certification, and you lead projects that go beyond your core team to develop your leadership skills. Then, in Year 4, you own the data. You're not just reporting numbers, you're telling a story with them, making strategic recommendations that showcase your business acumen. By Year 5, your resume won't be a list of duties. It'll be a portfolio of achievements that makes you the obvious choice for that manager role.
Now, knowing what to do is only half the battle. It's just as important to know what not to do. So many promising EHS careers stall out because of a few common and totally avoidable mistakes. Let's cover these critical traps so you can navigate right around them.
The crucial takeaway here is to build a balanced skill set. Please, don't be that person with 5 certifications who's never actually walked a job site. Don't be the technical genius who can't communicate with frontline workers or influence senior leadership. And absolutely do not forget to tie your work to the business. You need to speak in terms of ROI, KPIs, and risk mitigation. And finally, remember the E in EHS. Environmental compliance is no longer optional, it's a core part of the job and a huge area of corporate risk.
We have covered the entire roadmap. We've talked about the modern role, the entry paths, the certifications that matter, salary expectations, and a 5-year plan to get you there. The blueprint is officially laid out.
Now it's time to turn this blueprint into action. Here are 3 clear steps you can take today. First, decide on your target industry, because that choice dictates everything else. Second, choose one high-impact certification to focus on for the next year. Don't get distracted chasing them all, get it done. And third, take that 5-year blueprint we talked about and make it your own. Write it down and set clear quarterly goals for yourself.
And that brings us to the final thought. A plan is only as good as its execution. This explainer has given you the map, but you're the one who has to take the first step. So really think about it. What is the one tangible thing you will accomplish in the next 90 days to move yourself forward on this path?
Thank you for joining this explainer. The path is clear. The opportunity is absolutely there. Go start building your future today.